welcome back to Practice Like a Pro. So today I wanted to talk about bending. Now I get a lot of questions from students about bending, why their bends sound either really weak or they can't find the sweet spot that they're looking for. So if you learn anything in today's video, please let us know in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe, check out all the other wonderful things that we do at Practice Like a Pro. So for today's exercise, we're going to look at the A minor pentatonic or the A blues scale, whichever, and we're going to use some notes from that. So I'll put that on screen for you. So this is the scale that all the cool licks come from. Now let's take the 7th fret on the G. Let's try that one. Now, when I bend a note, the idea is you need to push a note to tighten the string. Now we need to make sure that we're aiming for a certain note. Now more on that later, but let's have a look at the mechanics of it. Now if I'm going to bend that note, 9 times out of 10 if I'm bending strings, I'm using my ring finger. Now what I need to do is I need to push into that note and drag it up across the frets. Now the eagle eye among you will notice that I actually bend with 2 fingers, especially when I'm using my ring finger. I tend to put my middle finger on the fret behind it. Now, because of the physics and the way that guitars work, you could share the fret, you could have it 1 behind, you could have it 2 behind. Can you hear how it doesn't sound any different? Because it's all about the highest point of contact to where you're picking the string. So it doesn't matter where I press behind the note, as long as I'm pressing behind it and not in front of it. So what I'll do is, you can see on my fingers there, I'll press down with 2 fingers and I'm really pressing into the fretboard. I've sort of got that part of my hand on the back of the neck. Now, because I've got big hands, I put my thumb over the top of the neck. Now, if you've got smaller hands, you could have a gap underneath and do it like that. For me, it's more like I'm holding a cricket bat. So, you need to pick the note and you need to push you need to maintain pressure on the string and push it towards the ceiling. Now, you'll hear sometimes people get it to where they want to go and then give it a little bit of a wobble. That can come later, just focus on getting the right note first. So that segues us on to what notes you can actually bend up to. Now, we need to, a little bit of music theory, you need to make sure that you're bending to a strong note. Okay, so something like the root, the minor third in this case, the perfect fourth, the perfect fifth are all great choices. Now, in the A minor pentatonic, the general rule of thumb is that one that we've been bending there on the 7th fret of the G, the 8th fret of the B, and the 8th fret of the high E. Now, all of those are what we call whole step bends. So all that means is a whole step is equivalent to 2 frets in music. So if I bend this note on the 7th fret, I want to make it sound like this note here. Can you hear how, once I bend that note, I stop. Now if I go too far, I've actually gone to the next, I've bent too far and I've bent 3 frets instead of 2. Now all 3 of those you can do a full step bend, but some of us know you've got the blue note next to that 7th fret on the G. Now you can, if you want, bend up to that blue note, but because of the nature of the blues note, you don't want to hang around there. You don't want to bend to it and hang around there, because over the root it sounds awful. But what you could do is you could bend up to the blue note and come back down. Or you could go. It's a little bit harder, that one, to try and get to where you want to go. But the way that I think about it is, if you visualise position 1 and position 2 of the minor pentatonic next door to each other, or even the blues scale, when I bend a note, I'm visualising what note's in the next position and how I can reach that note. So in this case, I'll put a diagram up on the screen. If I merge the first position and the second half, sort of the treble half, if you like, of the second position, you can see which notes I'm aiming for when I bend them. So, just a short one today. I hope that helps. Just think, if you aim at nothing, you hit it every time. So, when you're bending notes, you want to be mindful of where you're aiming to. Now, if you're just going, you are going to sound out of tune, especially over a backing track. You need to play the game, and you need to play the notes that live within the family. Now, if you want to play out, that's fine. Playing out means you're using notes that aren't in the key. But if you're trying to sound like Buddy Guy, B.B. King, Clapton, all those guys, you need to play the game, and you need to have the mindset that they're having. So, if you got some value out of today's video, hit the like button, let us know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.